Good afternoon.
Hello, Trouble.
How are we doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm doing well. Better now. Now I've seen your beautiful face.
Oh, this old thing. I just threw this on.
Looking good. Right. What first up? What shall I call you? Gully or?
Yeah, Gully.
Yeah. All right. We'll go with Gully. Okay. Yeah. So I'll kind
And
of.
you? Are you Christian,
Yeah.
Chris,
Christians. That's what I go by.
Mr. Sayers?
You like? I mean, you can go whatever you want. I usually go by Christian, but whatever you fancy calling me, I'll be open to. Yeah. So I'll just introduce it. So basically, I'm running this 3-day online music festival for one of my uni modules. Just all about upcoming artists and bands and like interviews and whatever, playlists. And I thought, you're the perfect fit. So bit of short notice interview, but we've pulled it off. So.
Not at all. We make it work, man.
Absolutely. So first up, how would you describe your music? Because I don't like kind of pigeonholing artists into one genre. So I let you kind of, where do you think you sit?
Yeah, it's one of those questions that I think a lot of artists don't like answering, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like more and more in the modern music industry as well. People are just doing their own thing, like the pigeonhole kind of nomenclature of genres is kind of almost becoming a thing of the past. What I'm going for, or at least what I've been advised to go for, is indie soul, is the kind of envelope, I suppose.
Okay.
And that accounts for some of my influences. I love people like Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald and Amy, obviously, people like that coming up. But yeah, I think indie soul is the closest kind of packaging I can kind of get.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where I'd put you as well. I think you've skipped through all my questions in one, but I'd say inspirations because I've got your music spread out across a few different playlists. So I've got you in one with kind of like Tom Misch, Loyle Carner, that kind of stuff. So
Love
is that the kind of stuff that you identify with more modernly?
Yeah. Sam Henshaw I put in that category as
Okay.
well. There's a wonderful guy called Zamvola. I don't know if you've heard of. He does kind of electronic soul. He's in that like neo-y kind of
Yeah.
category. But the people like that as well. Um, I feel like they helped me navigate those waters between loving soul music and old blues and jazz records,
Mm-hmm.
and how those kind of sounds and that kind of palette was being contextualized in a modern way.
Yeah, I
So
mean that's completely fair enough. But to have modern and more kind of older, I say older, but more
yeah,
vintage. Vintage is a cooler word, isn't it? So yeah, coming from that kind of inspiration.
mature.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, coming from that level of inspiration, what would you say is through lockdown? What kind of albums have you been really sweating at? What's the top three? Let's go.
Beside my own.
Other than your own EP, yeah.
Um, Now the new stuff, man. Got some stuff in the pipeline, but I've loved the new. I don't know about you. I've loved the new Silk Sonic Anderson .Paak Bruno Mars stuff.
That's my top song of the year so far. 100%.
It's very. It's applicable to the kind of new old school as well, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's very like
totally.
70s. Um,
That album is going to be top tier when that comes out.
oh yeah, man, it's gonna be huge.
100%.
Do you know a band called Nubian Twist? They do like a new jazz thing.
I don't, but I'll check them out.
Yeah, I'd recommend. I don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea, but I think they're amazing. And tying in with the old school thing, when I play live with my band, I've got a brass trio
Oh, okay.
on stage, and I always wanted that from the offset because it just felt like it was bringing more of a show, and it was just adding to the kind of energy and vibe of it all.
Totally.
Songs like Wasted have this kind of characteristic brass hook. One of my songs for listeners that aren't aware. And Nubian Twist and those kind of bands like Snarky Puppy as well.
Yeah.
Um, I've been going pretty ham on them just because I love the way that they integrate perhaps more like classical or like like more orchestral writing in a sense into
Yeah.
modern
And then
parts
how
of
that comes into your live element. I suppose that's been a big thing that you've been missing then, because obviously your EP Student Blues came out 2 months before lockdown went into apocalypse. So you've not really had a chance to really play that stuff live. How's that? Did you have stuff planned in terms of gigs?
Yeah, I had some gigs going on. I haven't really I say broke. I haven't really like percolated that far north as of yet.
Hmm.
I played a show in Hertfordshire a couple of years ago at the uni.
Hmm.
Um, I think the venue was called the Jam Jar or something. But otherwise, it's just been kind of. I'm based in the southwest at the moment in Bristol,
Hmm.
and so I'm pretty much just tapping into venues in Bristol and Bath at the moment, which was what I had planned as well.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of shows in Wales, but yeah, I had a few things going on. Music videos as well, obviously, just the
Sure.
logistical problems of sorting them out with lockdown going on and things not being safe, etc. That kind of took a dent as well. So yeah, it changed the game plan somewhat, but we move.
No, I bet. But I think
Chameleons.
moving forward, so
Mm.
we're today. So it's what 3 months until we're done and dusted. So what's your plans? June 21st, exactly 3 months in.
I'm gonna release a song on the day.
Woohoo! I like
I,
it.
it feels a bit crass maybe, but the song is, I don't know if you call Carpe Diem, which is a song I
Yeah,
dropped
I love
on
it.
January 1st. It's one of a buddy of mine, Jax, who's Jax Beats, and he's a producer, and he's very influenced by people like Tom Misch and Loyle Carner, and
Mhm.
I feel like we collaborate quite well together because I'm bringing that slightly older school kind of tinge
Yeah.
to a very like modern take on production, and we've worked on a second single called "Do You Want to Dance," and because of that setting, and it's pretty much a song about just chatting people up in clubs and
Yeah.
all of the things we've been missing. We figured that would be a pretty fun time to drop that and see what people think.
So I mean, you're a fan of dropping on big days. So you dropped on like New Year's Day. You're dropping on lockdown finish. So you're not worried that people are going to be like, everyone's out of spoons. They're not going to be. Oh, I've got to listen to the new Gully track.
And like people will listen if they want to listen. What's wonderful about this opportunity, and again, thank you for having me here
Oh,
today, is
absolutely.
I'm not at the point. I'm not under any pretenses. I'm not at a point yet where my audience is that big, or I have to look at things through that kind of macro
Mhm.
a lens. I'm just in a position, and it's almost a luxury, where I'm still just releasing music and saying, I don't even know what people are going to think about this. I just hope they like it.
Totally. I mean,
And
you're releasing it because you want to release it, not because you feel like it's going to bring in whatever cash. So outside of music, have you still got a job there? Not during lockdown, but
no, not during lockdown. I have been working at a garden centre prior, which is just just helping old ladies bring plants to their cars.
love it. Helping the
Yeah,
community.
just my little Hercules, that kind of thing.
Oh, I mean, anything to support the dream. So music's the long term thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I write, I write poetry, and started writing a screenplay of Lockdown One, which was quite just felt fun to have the creativity kind of diffuse and start kind of manifesting in a different way. So that was a fun kind of new muscle to flex. But
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you're
yeah,
taking the idea of bedroom pop. Obviously, you're not bedroom pop, but I mean, you're in your bedroom making music. So
yeah,
you just
yeah.
get out of bed, walk to your piano and your desk, and it's all.
That's it. You can see it all in shot.
I mean, same as me. Best place to do it.
Hey,
I've got to walk 2 meters to my office.
should we just shoot a video right now, you and me? Just
Why not? Easy, perfect. Yeah, I
hey,
mean, look,
Christian, what do you want to do today?
we could do it. We can make the screenplay right here, right
Yeah.
now. So, I mean, I ask this to everyone I interview, and it's become a bit of a staple question. So I asked like Slow Tie this question. I asked a couple of other bands.
Oof.
What is your meal deal of choice? This is
Yeah, of
something
course.
the
Of
people
course.
need to know.
It's been so long, I can hardly bloody remember, mate. Oof.
Wait, okay, where'd you go for it first of all?
I'm trying to think of. See, my local is actually Aldi these
Mm-hmm.
days, so I'm slightly bereft of the meal deal
Uh,
choices.
is there no Aldi meal deal? I can't say I've been
I
a
don't think there is. I think
no.
because Aldi's just bloody cheap anyway, isn't it? I think
Yeah,
they can't
can't be losing
undercut
anymore.
any.
They go under.
We'll pay you to eat this.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm thinking Tesco's.
yeah, that's the go-to.
I'm thinking like a sweet chili chicken wrap if I'm feeling like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I imagine there's a hummus falafel kind of vibe as well.
Okay.
Sometimes that sways me.
It's all mood dependent, isn't it? How you
Whispering
feeling?
whispering sweet falafel nothings in my ear. And yes, I think
Yeah,
I will.
I get you, 100%. What's on the side? You
Crisps.
getting crisps, chocolate? What we thinking?
I'm liking the Walker's baked things right now. You know, the ridged
Yeah,
ones.
yeah,
You know, a bit healthier. And probably go for like a cheese and onion. I know it's not the people's champ, but
cool.
it's pretty solid for me. It's cheese, it's onion. You
Easy.
get what you're going for.
Can't lose.
And then I liked innocent smoothies, but then I don't also there's some questionable like ethics going on there, aren't there?
Are we cancelling innocent smoothies?
We might be.
Cancel culture.
I'll let you spearhead that operation.
I mean, it's your idea, not mine. It's on you.
The Ides of March was last week, but we'll take them to the Senate steps.
Yeah.
Okay, juice wise. You know, I love the orange and mango.
Okay, so aside from like the the ethics of innocent smoothie, you're going down. If they were had their head on straight.
Yeah. All above board.
Yeah, I get you for sure. So, last little thing, we kind of talked a little bit earlier about how you're not on Twitter, you're not on TikTok. You just kind of keep this real sort of vintage aesthetic. But I feel like once you look past the idea that TikTok is just 15-year-olds doing dancing, it's really quite powerful. So is that something you're gonna go into?
Well, yeah. I don't mean to take this like Luddite, like curmudgeonly approach. Like,
yeah,
I'll never do that.
Yeah.
It's just that I don't know what I'd do, man. Like, I think, particularly given lockdown and the lack of kind of social comfort that comes with being around your friends, I've self-actualized a lot, and I've come to the conclusion that I might just be really boring, and no one would want to see a 20-second snippet of me doing whatever kind of creative outburst.
You never know.
Existential experience,
You never know.
I was saying earlier, in the future, if I'm shooting music videos, if I've got more of an audience, hey man, it is still a business at the end of the day. And I know I said earlier, I've got the luxury of just enjoying it. And I don't think the two are mutually exclusive. You can make money and still enjoy it and do it on your own terms. But yeah, if the demand were there for it, man, if the polls came in, it was like, your demographic is 15 to 18-year-olds, I'd be like, what?
I mean, you've got a follower in me. That's one part of your audience. You can do it. I reckon you can do it to your own songs. You put like Wasted or Rain behind it, and you just some of that, and you'll.
As you said before, is there not something to be said for the charm of having a kind of mystique? And you said vintage. I'm not.
Yeah.
That's not something I'm like consciously trying to propagate at all.
Yeah.
But there are artists that I love, and I think obviously it's a completely false equivalency because it didn't exist. But would David Bowie have got TikTok? Or
100%. He would have done makeup tutorials the whole show.
Makeup,
doubt.
Guys, it's Ziggy week.
100%. I mean, you see people like Frank Ocean, for example. He's off grid. You don't see him on social media doing interviews like this. So
yeah,
he's hugely successful. So like you say, they're not necessarily interlinked as to the success comes from how prominent.
But he had the success to back it up.
Yeah.
I'm just a narcissist.
I feel like once you've built that audience, that's when you then go dark.
Yeah.
And you just stop releasing music. You just pretend you don't exist. People think, where's he? Is he dead? Where's he gone?
I suppose at the heart of it, and I suppose poignantly, perhaps at the heart of Gully itself, and I told you about the screenplay. I love telling stories, and that's why I write songs. That's the kind of eureka moment impetus that gets me out of that bed to there. Is because
distance, the big journey.
Because I've thought of something. I've thought of a tall tale, or I've thought of some kind of even if it's just a way of contextualizing a single emotion like jealousy or heartbreak, is because I like the story and the way that I've managed to word it, however that is. and I hope that other people, even if it's just one person that DMs you saying, man, this song, cheered me up today, etc.
Exactly, like how I, slid in the DMs. It was casual.
Yeah, you did, Christian says, and I'm deeply appreciative of that. Means
There
a
we
lot.
are. I mean, so where did the name Gully come from? Is that your true name?
Mm-hmm.
It is. Is that short for
Yeah,
anything or
I'm Gulliver
Gulliver's Travels? Is that where it came from?
to full intents and purposes. It's a long story. To shorten it, I was born not in, but during my infancy. Straight after I was born, my parents were running a seafood restaurant in Portsmouth, my hometown, and it was called the Seagull. And I was a baby at that point, and the restaurant, the like clientele would ask to like see me, and I was like a attraction for them. So they'd like pass me around in this box, and I got the nickname the Gull Baby, and Gully kind of
Okay.
stemmed from that. And they were like, "Oh, cool, Gully, yeah, we like that." And then
Hang on. So
Gulliver,
up until that point, you were just nameless.
nameless, they couldn't
I just
decide.
feel like, yeah, we'll just call him the baby until we work something out.
Yeah, yeah, just baby one.
Baby one. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean that's all my questions. Thank you so much for chatting to me today, mate. That was
Man, it's
absolutely
been a pleasure. We
It's
should do it
always a
again.
pleasure. Let's make it a weekly. Let's do it.
Weekly thing. Let's start a podcast.
Let's do it. Why not? Podcast is the new medium. Best way forward.
Gully's not a Christian. Atheist takes.
You might need some work, but we're
Yeah,
we'll work on it.
we'll brainstorm. Yeah.
Absolutely. But like as always, amazing to chat, and I will speak to you very soon.
Take care, buddy.